I guess we took home the wrong cat. Alright, so I've got to tell you guys this story about our cat. As you can see from the title of this video, this is going to be an interesting story to tell you guys. I'm not really sure where to start. For those of you that don't know, we have a lot of cats. We have 6 cats, actually. Technically 8, because there's 2 strays that we have that we feed outside. I don't know if I'm going to mix up the order of this story. I sure hope I don't. And I'm gonna try to insert as much video and photo evidence as I can so that you guys can keep up with the story, because this was a lot for us to process and I feel like it's gonna be kind of nuts for you guys to hear. So I want to say almost 2 years ago, we had a cat show up at our back door. She was a little cat. We named her Fitz. And she would come around every so often to eat. She did not like to be near us. She was very skittish of us, but she trusted us enough to not poison her with her food. So she would come around, but we didn't ever really interact with her, which is why we were never able to take her in. So one fine day, we discovered that she was pregnant. And when I say we, I don't mean me. I was away at college for my last semester when all this was going down. My mom was here and noticed she was getting bigger, so she had assumed that she was pregnant. But anyway, while I was still away in school, she had her babies in the backyard. And at the time, because they were so little and we couldn't get close to her, we had assumed that there were 4 of them. It seemed like there were 4 of them, so that's what we went off of. A couple days go by, and I guess she gets a little wary of us, so she takes the kittens and moves them somewhere else. We don't know where she moved them to, but one day they were there because she gave birth in our backyard, and then the next day they weren't there. By the way, we have since gotten her fixed. She's fixed, vaccinated, all that good stuff. So she moved the kittens. We didn't know where she had moved them to. I was doing a video call with my mom while I was still up at school, and during the video call, she noticed that one of the kittens had crawled their way back over to the outside of our house. So I have a picture of the kitten coming up to the house. Now this part is not necessarily, it is relevant, but this cat, we've since looked at the pictures of this cat and looked at, now that they're grown, have looked at the cats, and we're not sure which cat this is, if it's even any of them. Like I said, we were under the impression that she had 4 of them. Once they had gotten bigger and they were able to walk around on their own, they started coming back over to the house because this is where we fed them. And we only ever saw 3 of them. We saw 2 striped cats that looked like her and a black and white cat. So we had assumed that the 4th kitten maybe didn't make it when she moved them, wherever she moved them to, didn't make it and was still there. We only ever saw the 2 striped cats and the 1 black and white cat. This information is important. 2 striped cats, 1 black and white cat. So the cat that had come up to the door was one of the striped cats. And we looked at this picture and the markings don't really match. We know that as cats get older, their markings, they don't really change, but their bodies get bigger, so their markings will get smaller or bigger or whatever. But it really doesn't seem like this cat is one of the 2 striped cats that we have. So just keep that in mind as we go through the rest of the story. Right before I was gonna graduate, right before my mom and my sister came up for my college graduation, my mom was going to work one day, and I told this story before, but I'm going to reiterate it here. She went to work one day, she heard a noise in her car, she thought that was kind of weird, because it sounded like meowing, and she was like, that's weird, it's not coming off the radio, I don't know where I'm hearing this meowing coming from. She gets to her work, she parks the car and turns off the engine, and she's like, I'm definitely hearing meowing, I think there are cats in the car somewhere. They're nowhere inside the car, obviously, like in the interior of the car. She has a couple co-workers come out to help her look, and lo and behold, she finds 2 of them in her engine. They both scurry in opposite directions, so they have to try and get the cats out from the engine. This is where I have some video of her co-workers trying to like get the cats out of there. And so one of them, we ended up, I keep saying we, one of them they ended up catching, and that was Chester. So we have pictures of Chester the day that we brought him home, the day that they caught him, we brought him home. Up to now, you can look at these two pictures and you know this is definitely the same cat. The other cat that was in the car was a black and white cat. And we have the video of the black and white cat jumping out from underneath the car, running across the parking lot down to the little pond area and like skittering across the pond and into the woods. So we have that on video. This happened just before my graduation, so my mom was looking for a few days with her coworkers and was never able to catch him. After we had gotten back from Chicago, one of her coworkers had caught the cat. They had a trap out there, and they saw that the cat was in the trap. So we have pictures of that as well, the day that we brought him home. A video of us trying to reunite him with his mommy.
It's alright. Oh, I'm glad we found you. Hi, sweetie.
I was not there and there was no video proof of it, but my mom says that when they brought Chester home, the same day that they had gone off, when they brought him home and put him back outside, that Fitz was very excited to see him, was loving all up on him, and was very happy to see him. The second cat that we brought home, this was 10 days later, so she was not very receptive to him. That's all that we thought of it at the time.
Come here. You want to go see your mommy? I hope you're the right cat. There's your baby. It's your baby.
Here is where the information starts to change. From our understanding, right, there were 4 cats that were born. 2 of them were striped. 1 of them was black and white. We don't know what the 4th one was. The 2 striped cats, we assume, well, we know, are Chester and Watson. Chester, we have pictures of before he got in the engine, and pictures of him after, pictures the day that they brought him home, and all the pictures line up. It looks like the same cat. Watson was not in the car. He stayed home. He's good. He's good to go. This black and white cat, however, is not the cat that we brought home. I was helping my mom make a scrapbook of the cats, and she wanted a screenshot of that video that I showed you guys where he jumped out from the car and ran into the woods. In getting a screenshot, I was looking through the video frame by frame, and as I was looking through this video, I noticed something odd. I was looking at this cat and looking at his markings, and something didn't seem right. This cat had white fur all along the back of his neck, like up his shoulders and along the back of his neck, and white fur along the base, like his lower back, like by the base of his tail. He had a lot more white on him than Poncho does. And so at first I was like, okay, maybe he just grew into his body and there's less white fur there. But the more I looked at it, the more I'm like, this is way too much white fur. I looked at a couple different frames where you could see him. It's really hard to tell because he ran so fast and it's filmed on a phone and it was from far away. But this cat has way more white on him and in places that Poncho does not. So I thought that was really odd. We have a video and a photo of Poncho the day that we brought him home from the woods. So we're able to compare the video, which again I know is not the best evidence, but it feels kind of damning. You can compare his markings and you can see Poncho's back from like the back of his head to his tail is all black. He has virtually no white on his back at all. And you can see that from the day that we brought him home. And that video of the cat running into the woods and the cat that we brought home is 10 days apart. I don't see his fur patterns changing that much in 10 days. Now here's the other interesting thing that I noticed. In trying to uncover what it was exactly we were looking at, I found a photo from 2 days before the cats jumped in the car. And in this photo, you see the mom, you see the 2 striped cats, Chester and Watson, and a black and white cat. And when you look at this black and white cat, this cat has white along his shoulders, across the back of his neck, and across his lower back. So that cat in that photo has the same markings as the cat that jumped out of the car and ran into the woods. Remember when I said that she had 4 cats? I'm starting to think that she had Chester, Watson, this black and white cat, and this cat, the striped cat that showed up when I was video calling with my mom, that was still a baby kitten. I'm thinking that was the 4th cat, because when we looked at this picture of those 3 cats, we just assumed that it was Chester, Watson, this black and white cat, and Poncho just wasn't in the backyard with them at the time. So we had thought in that picture, Poncho just wasn't in the backyard at the time, and that Poncho and Chester had jumped into the car and we brought them both home, and that in the meantime something else had happened to that black and white cat, that it disappeared. But I think it's a lot more likely that she had Chester, Watson, this black and white cat, and this striped kitten that we saw early on, that maybe that kitten died early on, didn't make it. If it got moved from the rest of their siblings, I could definitely see that being the case, because we have no pictures or video of Poncho at our house until after we brought him home. And you can clearly see in the picture of him in the crate that that's the cat we brought home. That the cat we have now is the cat that we brought home. But his markings don't match the ones of the cat that ran into the woods. And the cat in this photo that we haven't seen does match the markings of the cat that ran into the woods. So I'm not sure where Poncho came from. I know he came from the woods, but I don't know. So I guess we took home the wrong cat. Part of us feels really bad because we want to know what happened to this other cat. We're hoping he got picked up by somebody, but we're assuming that's not the case. So part of us wishes that that cat was still okay, but a huge part of us knows that Poncho is a part of our family. So we're not really sure what to make of the situation. I don't know if this is enough proof for us to really believe that this is a different cat, but I'm pretty confident, just based off the photos and videos that we have, based on the timeline, that this cat that we brought home is not the cat that went missing that day. It's kind of hard to believe that this is the situation, but I wanted to share the story with you guys because I don't know. I think it's a strange story, and one that I wanted to share because life is crazy like that sometimes. Even though he's not the cat that ran off that day, he's still a huge part of our family, and we love him no matter what. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this ridiculous story. If you guys want to see more videos of the cats, I would like to do more videos of them, kind of like talking about each of their personalities and like the stories behind how we got them and all that. But yeah, we'll see, I guess, what stuff I end up making in the future. And I'll see you guys later. He knows I'm talking about him. Hey, bud. Hello. Why are you saying hi to the people? Why are you scared of the people? Just say hello. Alright.